In the bottom left starting location, will he use that almost excessive hellbat play? We'll see soon. He is.
Master. Startail Bomber.
The underdog here. How far can he go? He is.
Master. CJ Antus Biong.
I like that. Did you say excessive, almost excessive hellbats?
Yeah.
It's true, Tasteless. If those hellbats in that game were food, he would be a glutton. If they were, if Marines in that game were his wife, he would have been an adulterer.
Wow.
He was. I can go on and on, Tasteless.
Have you seen that? They have its picture says 7 deadly sins, and it has the one that's underlined sloth. And it just, the picture next to it is a picture of a sloth being like not cool, man. Like,
yeah.
Actually, have you ever looked up on YouTube videos of baby sloths?
Of course, it's like what I do normally.
All right, I got a new one you got to look up.
Yeah?
I was doing this last night. Is videos of baby owls.
Oh, those are cute too.
Those are cute.
Yeah,
man.
I love how they're very cute. The baby sloth ones I like more though because they remind me of you a lot.
Oh yeah, dude, that's what baby Tasteless look like. Man.
Yeah, I think that's actually true.
I actually am a sloth. Man.
He actually only has three.
I actually shave my
toes.
entire body except for around my jawline, so I look like I have a beard.
Yeah.
It's not. It's actually
hair.
I just bathe in there for the rest of the rest of me to try to pull this con off. It's not easy to be a sloth and become a caster.
No, it's not.
There's a lot of discrimination out there.
You do a good job, man.
Thank you.
And when I need to bring Tasteless home, I just hold out a branch and he just climbs onto it slowly.
Just climb on it, man. Yeah, very slowly. All right, so we do have pretty ordinary openers so far.
Yeah.
One player going for probably more of a Wings of Liberty opener here. That's our player in the blue, Bomber. Biong doing, I think, what's more common nowadays in Heart of the Swarm Terran openings, just getting a Reaper out right away.
And the Reaper, of course, going to allow him to scout quite well. He's actually getting a second Reaper as well.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. And, of course, Bomber grabbing that reactor right away. Nothing peculiar here. Both players will be grabbing command centers very quickly now.
Oh, yeah. And we can see here, Bomber going to make the command center at the expansion area. Probably will be the same here for Biong.
And does a little bit of damage there to those Marines. So, as he gets that second Reaper up, I'm sure he'll try to run by and figure out exactly what's going on, but I don't think it'll surprise him, Tasteless, because it's a factory right now, and I think a starport and an armory are going to follow pretty quickly.
I have to agree. So we have a little bit of downtime here as we wait and see what these guys try to develop their strats. Well, actually, maybe not. The Reaper comes in here now. Is it going to get this SCV? Nice pull away, but up onto the high ground he goes.
Ooh, a nice idea from Bomber to try to head him off, but doesn't quite get it done.
That must have been a misclick there from Biong. It looks like he accidentally right-clicked on the depot instead of behind that.
I think you're exactly right.
That did not look right at all.
Yeah.
So have you played this? I downloaded this game actually this morning.
What is it?
Have you heard of this game, I Want to Be the Guy?
Oh, I've heard of it, but I did not.
I think I'm going to stream this game. It's actually ridiculous.
Is it?
It's actually kind of stupid.
Oh, wait, did you watch the indie game movie that I told you?
Not yet, no.
Because I'm pretty sure they had that on there, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, they had Super Meat Boy and that. I have not seen that.
I know it was about Super Meat Boy, but it had a bunch of indie games, so.
Oh, I got to check that out.
You actually do.
I've been slacking.
You even wrote it down to make sure you would, and
I
you
did.
still haven't.
Oh, we actually have Bomber now pushing up here. And look at this control here, actually. Taking out the Marine and bruising that Hellion. 2 more Hellions coming up here now. Biong right now in a lot of trouble. This was started out looking like it could have been a long, dramatic macro game. It might actually start to swing towards Bomber a little bit quicker than I think we all expected it to.
Yeah, Bomber is doing so well.
He's actually a Banshee off this?
Yeah, he's going Banshee plus Hellion, a very old school style, whereas Biong is actually the one going for hellbat drops. So, gonna be kind of cool here. Bomber definitely has switched up his play, knowing that people saw how he played, and you know, if you can predict that, you can definitely prepare for it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He wanted to come up with those 3 Hellions, seeing that not only were his Hellions alone outnumbered, but there were enough Marines to take out them as well. So a pretty scary moment here. The command center is now lifting up and going back here, so that's delayed. Mining timing delayed, SCV production. This is all bad.
You know what? He's actually going to go into his own hellbat drops as well, but not before making a Banshee. So the Banshee actually should do a fantastic job, considering there's a grand total of 1 Marine out for anti-air for his opponent. So, you know what? This is, I like Bomber's little switches to his strategy.
And I love how he's able to pull out right in the last second.
Yeah.
Keeps the contain up. He had the timing out where he said, I know at this exact moment at about, what, I would say 7:45 here, he should have a medevac, which means I don't need to guard the entrance anymore. I'm going to come back here and defend.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what you want to do.
He even stopped his Marines where he thought the medevac was going to go over for a moment, and then went back home because he was just checking in case it went over there at that moment. So pretty awesome play so far by Bomber.
Bomber is looking bulletproof.
Yeah, he is.
The question is, can Biong be bomber-proof? I don't know. I thought I had something really good there, Atosis. I'm really sorry.
Well, he better get into his bomb shelter, Tasteless, or these hellbats are going to rip him up.
All right, we're going to see as they are coming in here now.
He is.
Now, Viking already hitting this. He is not boosted yet with the medevac.
Okay, Bomber is completely killing Biong so far, man.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you kidding me? That is error number 2 there in the split. How many workers are killed?
Actually, so far, Biong has killed 7, but Bomber's killed 13, so still in his favor, but this is not over yet. And in fact, these hellbats getting a lot of kills suddenly. Wow, this has been kind of crazy so far.
You know, I think one of the differences between hellbats and Hellions is you just absolutely cannot have the workers near the hellbats at all.
Yeah.
If the Hellions don't get the right angle off, they're not going to do as much damage.
Oh my.
2 more hellbats, but not a lot of SCVs here to kill.
Well, I guess that's good. Well, it would be good if it wasn't because he already lost so many SCVs.
Yeah, that's very true.
So 24 killed by Biong, whereas 15 killed by Bomber so far. And here we go. He's actually, oh man, he's not going to be able to get up that ramp at all. This is really rough.
I wonder if right now Bomber really wishing he had gone for the Hellbats here. You can just see, even with the damage that Biong suffered early on, once the Hellbats get in there, the amount of damage they can deal is just too much.
I tell you, man, it was a very creative and cool opening by Bomber, but he's taken a lot of damage at this point. He does have more supply right now. So we'll see if that somehow works out for him. It didn't work out for Keen when Bomber played against him, but both players have Hellbats, so really anything can happen here.
All right, the medevac here for Biong is going to come down now. Now there is the bunker here. But again, this is getting almost too much. I mean, if you lose too many more SCDs, you can't really recover from this.
Yeah. But you know what? Bomber is getting multiple medevacs to fill up with his Hellbats. He doesn't like dropping just 1 or 2. You know, he wants those 4 Hellbat drops if possible.
All right, this attack was deflected, but we have another attack en route right now. And that's exactly what it's doing. I'm surprised that didn't die. I thought that was going to be taken out for sure.
I did as well.
Biong's had a lot of rough moments where he's trying to run away with a medevac or something else, and it just gets, or the Reaper, for instance, and he just misclicks and it dies.
Yeah. You know, this is so funny. When both players are going just for a lot of Hellbat drops, it becomes Hellbat Viking. And of course, that makes a lot of sense. I can't wait because I feel like this game, there's a possibility this will eventually get into landed Vikings kiting Hellbats.
That actually could be, which would be very, very weird.
They turn so slow, I don't even know what that looks like.
I have no idea. The notion of a Viking kiting anything while it's moving around the ground.
I know, right? They could, like, kite a queen or something off
Something like that, yeah. Maybe not, actually.
Yeah, hard to say.
With that range.
Both players adding a couple factories, probably for more Hellbats.
Okay, now here's Bomber's opportunity to do a big counterattack. Let's see how effective it really is.
Well, right now the supplies are very, very even. They have very similar counts on pretty much everything. I mean, they're within 1 Viking and 1 Hellbat of each other, generally speaking. Biong is slightly ahead in the Hellbats. And Bomber looks like he's the one attacking, so that could make it a little bit rougher, but he does have Hellions as well.
All right, the Viking count here better for Biong, so Bomber is going to have to back up.
I think this calls for probably a Thor from Bomber. I would actually really like to see him make one Thor. There you go. He starts the Thor. Good work, Bomber.
Way to go.
Yay.
So he's going to come over here. He might do another drop. Oddly enough, this medevac has not been hit by these Vikings yet.
No, I'm excited to see if he actually ends up making more than one Thor, because obviously siege tanks are going to be something that you want. Did that just happen?
What?
Wow, that's the move command for you.
Sloppiness, yeah.
Generally speaking, you're not going to want to move command Vikings.
Yeah, you almost always want to attack move them.
Yeah, because they don't attack ground. Like, you want them to attack anything in the air, whereas things that attack ground, you don't necessarily want them to attack anything on the ground.
Right, the medevac did manage to escape.
So we do have the one Thor out. Both players taking their third bases. 61 SCVs to 53 with Biong in the lead, so definitely a big advantage there. And both players just going into pretty heavy macro mech here.
Yes. So they have more and more factories coming up here. Now, this game has stabilized a little bit. You know, is in the fact that neither player can really harm the other one for the time being. And again, this is also a huge map. It's Whirlwind, so there's a lot of there's a potential for an incredibly long TBT here.
There certainly is, Tasteless, but you know, they're both playing somewhat swarmy styles. I don't know if we're going to get into that really turtly siege tank based play, especially if you look at the spots that they are.
Yeah.
Both of them can take so many bases that I feel like maybe a more mobile army, a more mobile approach with mech might be the way to go.
You might be right, actually. That's a really interesting observation. We'll see, though. TBT's gotten a little funky now because of the hellbats here.
Yes.
Not just in the early game, but in the mid-game and late game as well.
We'll see how that goes. We do have the landed Vikings in that army trying to disguise themselves as hellbats. Of course, if the Thor kills off enough Vikings or damages them enough, they may take the skies once again, Tasteless. They do hold out hope.
All right, it looks like we now have Bomber pushing up in the middle. Supplies dead even, 173 for both parties here. Now, how much damage did he possibly do? Another drop over here in the SCV line.
Oh, he dropped them just barely behind where he needed them.
Yeah, that was a bad spot to put them.
If they were in front of the minerals, he would have gotten way more SCVs, so definitely a mistake there. But here we go, Tasteless. Biong does siege up, but the Hellbats don't care. They are just walking forward.
Now he's got a soft contain over here onto Bomber. We'll see if he turns that into a hard contain here. But yeah, I mean, a pretty wild game so far. Third base not mining right now for Biong. Bomber so far in pretty good shape.
Yeah. Well, the 5 Hellbats all kind of just stuck in this little choke point, not really doing the greatest job there. But he is taking another base very quickly, and of course we do have another. In fact, Bomber's making 4 command centers right now, I have to point out. Yes. I think he realizes that these two, no one should get broken here. They're both basically maxed out.
All right, we have a big engagement up here. Siege tanks in siege mode before the opposing siege tanks. We're putting Bomber in a lead right now. Vikings are landing, but are also being taken out with ease. Is this enough to break clear? We have more siege tanks coming up here from the bottom.
Yeah, Bomber actually, this is, okay, this doesn't really, I don't like what Bomber just did there. How he attacked in. Like, he may have wanted to get rid of some of his supply.
He's making all these command centers and attacking. You can't do what? You can't do 2 opposite things at the same time. That doesn't make any sense.
4 command centers and just attack, move into a turtled mech player.
It's like
it's not the most logical move.
Even if he thinks he's better than his opponent, this is, you know.
No, that's way overkill.
StarCraft 101.
Yeah, that's it was weird. That was a weird move.
All you needed to do to make that even worse or make less sense would be if he was making a sky turn at the same time too.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, a bunch of starports up.
You know what? But I do feel like he may have wanted to clear some supply there. Like, he got rid of all the Vikings of his opponent. And he got rid of his own Vikings that were landed. So those two don't line up with each other. So I'm not sure exactly why he did that. I think it was actually just straight up a mistake.
Must have been.
But they're basically even on supply, so it's not like it's the biggest deal ever, guys. It's so don't think of it that way.
Well, he's pushing forward now.
And this is one thing that it did do for him, because Bomber had map control, but now we actually have Biong with map control. He's pushing this location, and if he finds the base down south, he can kill it very easily.
Oh, dropping right now onto those siege tanks, doing a good amount of damage. Meanwhile, a drop over here at the third is about to go underway.
Well, there are some missile turrets, so he's going to lose the medevacs, but he should be able to kill a lot of SCVs here. And he actually, not really paying attention there, that's for sure.
Yeah, that was a bit of a shocker there.
A wee bit ineffective.
Yes, Bomber now in a supply deficit of 20. But he is continuing to expand across the map if Biong doesn't punish him adequately coming up here.
Yeah,
everything he's doing won't matter.
You know, he has a lot of orbitals right now, a lot of command centers as well. So, you know, his macro will be able to catch up and refill his supply.
Yeah.
But there's some annoying things going on, like, for instance, the fact that Biong is sieged up right there, really holding him in.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I was going to say, he has to back up there. Those hellbats, along with those siege tanks that are already in siege mode, not going to make that location very accessible.
Yeah. Bomber
and it
is...
looks like Biong is going to be on the move again here. Does he know, how many other expansions does he know about? Can you check on your preview
Biong,
PC?
I don't think he knows about hardly anything, to be honest. Like, he hasn't seen anything, Cases. He knows about none of them.
Oh my god, and he's going to get sandwiched here. He is getting sandwiched right now. All these tanks being wiped out.
I don't know what, like, I don't like a lot of Bombers playing this game, Taste. This is not the Bomber.
I have to agree, yeah.
You know what, I feel like Bomber thinks he's playing someone so below him, and he's just like, well, I'm just going to keep attacking and expanding, because no one can stop that. And it's like, well, I mean, Biong is stopping it right now, Bomber, so.
This is so many siege tanks sieging up in the back here. As long as he keeps on replenishing those hellbats, which are so meaty they can tank up so much of the damage in the front.
You know what? One thing I can say is that if he has a bunch of medevacs, and he does, Bomber's making even more. So he's about to have 6 medevacs. If he just drops a ton of hellbats on those siege tanks, he might be all right, because all the anti-air is gone.
That's a really, really, really good point.
So I think you can still actually come back from this situation. I think this might be an overextension with this pure siege tank.
Well, he's continuing to push forward here. He's going to wipe out the rest of these siege tanks.
I don't know why he's... Well, you know, I guess he wants to save those SCVs pretty badly, but...
And he does.
Yeah, he needs to utilize these medevacs maybe when there's no anti-air.
His other base over here.
Yes, it certainly
There's no secret there when the medevacs go the opposite direction of where you would expect them to go. Medevac, or excuse me, not medevacs. Vikings now spotting those medevacs.
And there you go. That's the move I was waiting for. Dropping on top. A little bit late with it because he has lost quite a bit there. But he will end up cleaning up all these siege tanks, and that'll bring us to a more even position, because even though Bomber's lost a lot, this guy is mining from all over the map. Like, he actually he is playing a very swarmy style.
Also note that the macro here for Biong is not exactly perfect. 1,100 minerals and about 500 gas.
Right, so kind of a crazy game so far. Both players have lost huge amounts. Like, in the resources lost tab, it's at 21k against 18k.
Biong is looking fantastic, by the way, in this game.
Yeah, very solid.
Yeah, very solid,
stable play. Well, we just have a lot of hellbats and siege tanks still in production for both sides. Of course, these medevacs are going to be very, very useful in the right engagement. There are some Thors popping out a little bit more regularly now, and I really do like that. You know, they're going to be good against medevacs, but I think even more importantly, they're good at tanking and deal ridiculous. They have ridiculous DPS.
They balance the army out very well.
Yeah.
And also if a bunch of Vikings just come in there, a few Thor ballers can soften them all up. He should transfer those SCVs, by the way, Bomber should.
Yeah, he's about to.
He has.
He might end up losing them, Paces.
Oddly enough, there was even a drop going on over here for Biong. Oh, okay, I thought those were all hellbats. I'm like, what workers is he really going to kill there?
Well, it looks like Bomber's going to go ahead and kill off an army here of Biong. But in the meantime, Biong does have that big drop going down. It looks like Bomber may have...
how much of the map Bomber has. This is actually insane. I'm surprised that you can even control this much of the map ever with Terran.
Well, you know, that's kind of the way he's been playing all game, right? He's been just attack, moving kind of around the map, building command centers. And it's working out. This drop is going to be cleaned up, and Biong is losing bases right now.
But he's about to lose a lot more. Not repairing yet. And it looks like in the last second he does start to do that. But again, SCVs are going to be taking a lot of damage here.
Yeah, it can't last forever against the might of this army. Supply very even for these players, but Biong has to be careful if he wants to attack up into there. Siege tanks on the high ground, very powerful indeed.
In fact, obliterating everything on the ground here is Bomber. Now the Hellbats coming here and burning down these SCVs. has Bomber actually done it? It seems like he's gotten so good at juggling tasks that he's been doing all these different things at once and actually succeeding. The point where it looks like now we have our Terran player with 2 operational bases compared to Bomber's. I lost count of how many.
Yeah, I know. He has so many it doesn't even matter. You can just drop mules at any of them as we see. You know, this has been a very weird game because Bomber definitely threw away a bit more than he should have.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, does it actually end up mattering? Biong did not do a great job scouting here.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
If while he had complete map control, he had been like, oh, there's a base right below me, I think I'll go kill it, this would be a completely different game.
You can see he's trying to clean up the remainder of that army on the way back, but already another army is up here, sieging up with these hellbats who can hit this planetary. Really scary stuff here.
Well, definitely a situation where he's going to want to drop on there if possible. No, he's actually just going to attack him up, and he turned his medevacs around, so he's going elsewhere.
So he's going to try to do a huge drop up here near the entrance. Looks like it's 44 SCVs to 60. And here comes that big drop now. How much damage will it do? Avoiding this expansion now, going to the right, going to the upper right.
I think he's starting to figure out just how many bases there are.
Yeah.
Well, he'll siege that one up.
Big army pushing out now here for Bomber. This has actually been an awesome TDT.
Yeah, this has been a really crazy one.
Super action-packed, pretty hard to follow actually.
Yeah.
But
and Biong is now starting to expand quite a bit himself, making an additional command center and another one in the top right. And some starports actually being added for Bomber. Going to switch into Sky Toss here.
All right, as you can see here, all these SCVs are going to be burnt down, which means the planetary cannot be saved. And it is destroyed. There is still a Terran base for Biong in the top center and one in the upper right. How long can he hold on to those? It looks like Bomber now switching into Sky Toss.
Or Terran.
Sky Terran. I should say Sky Toss. Yeah, Sky Terran.
Yeah, we'll see. It probably just goes straight up to Banshees because he didn't make the fusion core. So
makes perfect sense.
You know, you mix in, you have like 3-4 Banshees, you suddenly kill off like all of their siege tanks before they can get anti-air out.
Yeah, exactly.
The speed at which they deal that damage. So it looks like the hellbat's going to come in and kill everything as they normally do.
All right, another drop over here. And am I wrong here? I feel like Biong is actually just about to lose this.
You know, it's so funny because the supply is very, very close, but it does feel that way. Thing is, he does still have a lot of siege tanks, and you can't count out a man that has a lot of siege tanks.
That's very true.
If he positions these right, gets the right engagements, maybe gets on top of the factories, he definitely still has a chance. But he's not really mining now, so...
How does the income look right now for Biong?
Well, 0.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, he has a very small window here where he can actually get the right amount of damage done.
So it's basically now or never right now with this Terran army pushing up, and it looks like Bomber's going to go right around that and make sure that there's no semblance of an economy that's getting, you know, patched back together again.
Yeah. Well, it looks like this should be just about it. Of course, Biong probably will not leave until his actual army is cleaned up.
And you can't really blame him for that either.
He does have a lot of siege tanks. You know, those 2 starports would be nice right now if Bomber did go ahead, throw down some tech labs and make a Banshee, because 1 Banshee would force a GG right here. Biong has 54 minerals and nothing that hits air. 1 Banshee is all it would take.
I think it'd probably be better off for Bomber to actually... Oh, wait, hold that thought. Now dropping the hellbats on top of these siege tanks. Siege tanks doing a lot of damage to each other. It looks like Biong's economy is officially in shambles.
Yeah, I would say so. Not really mining. Bomber is just about done as far as his economy goes as well, but he has money bank, and again, he has starports, so
yes,
we're going to see him go ahead, make 2 Banshees, fly them over towards Biong. Well, unless Biong leaves before then, because his army is... It's getting pretty small.
Yeah, unfortunately, with these Banshees coming out here, like you said, I mean, I don't know what... I mean, there's really nothing that he can do. He's going to try to get this command center over here. Gosh, he's so behind, though. So behind.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if he kills everything in there. Like, the 2 Banshees themselves can end the game. And, in fact,
He even knows this is coming.
Probably, I think they're going
Does
to
he have
end
a
the
Thor
game.
with that army? He does not have a Thor
No,
or anything, right?
He literally has no anti-air right now. And
Okay.
his income is so low. Like, he just landed a command center, so he's going to start getting a little bit of income. But with Cloak out and the fact that he will be dropping all his mules, just it makes it this huge problem dealing with this. And there you go. The 2 Banshees are out.
Yeah.
He really should click on that tech lab that's upgrading if he's going to suicide.
Looks like he's not going to do that after all.
Yeah. Well, you know, he gets one of the starports, so that means that it's going to be like probably 3 Banshees out.
Yeah.
But with the Cloak, that's the real problem I'm seeing here.
Well, luckily for him, there was no anti-air right there. Because that's really all he has left is those medevacs and the units that they're carried in.
Yeah.
We do have more Banshees on the way here. And again, Cloak is like 2 seconds away from being done.
Yeah, he is way slowed down on his mule usage now. So he has some scans. You know, lucky for him, he attacked the base where the Banshees were making, so they had to defend it. But Bomber just
believe this is the GG moment here.
Yeah. This is a GG timing, Tasteless.
It is. Great game, though. 37 minutes there. Epic stuff.
And the Banshees flying in with their Cloak, Tasteless. Very few scans left over. Forcing a lift on a command center that has a scan in it, in fact.
And as you can see now, yeah, I mean, that should basically be it.
He actually just took out the
way.
Banshees.
Oh,
wait,
did
no, he
he?
didn't. No, I'm sorry. I think he killed
They're
one.
cloaked, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing, too, is keep in mind that he's actually had to lift so many command centers and everything like that. He doesn't have many scans left.
No,
Every
not too
scan
many.
he uses on a Banshee is not a mule.
You know, Bomber for production right now, you want to know what he has, Tasteless?
What?
Starport.
That's so funny.
That's his production. So he's actually just had to remake his barracks. And he's going for a lot of Banshees, which suddenly... This is so weird because I thought for sure Bomber was going to be able to take it right there. But a Thor and 3 Vikings, if he saves scans, is going to do pretty damn well against an army that's based off of 3 Banshees.
That's very true.
So we do have more Siege Tanks for Bomber, 4 against 2, and then more Hellbats, 11 against 9. And he is starting to make Vikings as well.
Well, you know, Bomber may be spread too thin here to defend all these locations, you know?
Well, you know, I think he's probably going to limit himself on how many he's going to try to defend coming up.
I think you're right.
I think the main base is gone, the natural's gone, and the base above the natural, right there,
yeah.
I think that one is going to be one he just gives up.
He might pick that up and float it somewhere else, like bottom right.
You know what? Biong might actually end up coming back and winning this, Tasteless.
That would be wild.
Look, he's actually producing a lot of Hellbats all at once.
All right, nice job here with these Banshees. Well, looks like they all perished right before.
They died of fear when they saw the Banshees, knowing they had no chance. Now, these are about to run out of energy. Yeah, this is really bad.
Yeah, that's a bit of an overextension there with those Banshees.
Yeah.
Especially when he was just attacking the command center.
You know, what's so funny about this is that Bomber lost all his factories, which we didn't foresee as a problem because it looked like he was going to just win. But then without the factories, without a barracks, he hasn't been able to really produce any units. So Biong has actually gotten a better army.
They've actually evened out the supplies now. Look at that.
Yeah. But Biong's army is actually way better. He's got 25 Hellbats against 10, and you know, as we know, that's very important.
It really is.
Yeah, and he has some anti-air for the Banshees, and then, I mean, he's down in Siege Tanks, but the extra amount of Hellbats is more than enough to make up for that. God, this is a
cool game.
This has been back and forth like 3-4 times where we thought that different players are going to win for sure.
This has been a serious seesaw game here, Atosis. All right, it looks like we have Biong pushing forward now. How far can he go?
Oh, Bomber is turtling up here, but this is going to be hurtful. And here we go, Tasteless. It looks like Bomber is actually going to...
I think he's actually about to lose.
Even though he's way up in supply.
What an interesting game, yeah. Well, he can't reproduce all this.
And now all his SCVs are going to go down. He's got a couple of Banshees just floating there. He's trying to figure out what to do. So, okay, so this is the plan for Bomber right now. Wow, he got that. He's making some Thors. So I think he's going to try to snipe all the Vikings and then kill with Banshees. I think that is the plan, and it's actually reasonable. It could happen. This is such a crazy game.
All right, now he's over where the production facilities are, so if he takes out this location and they have to move, I think that could be it. You can't make anything else, you know?
You know, he's letting them sit on the ground for now. The Banshee is going to work over here. And forces a scan there. So he's trying to get rid of the siege tank, I believe, so that he can walk the Thors forward a little bit more.
I think you're right.
Try to pressure those Vikings. There is still a chance for Bomber here, and it's a chance for Biong as well, but Biong is like just not able to mine.
This is literally one of the best TBTs I've casted in a while.
Yeah.
This actually is an awesome TBT.
That was painful right there.
That was.
You should have cloaked. All right, well, does lift that off right away.
Roasting all these workers on the low ground.
Oh, he wants to take out that Thor so badly.
Oh, he does. Yeah, beautiful.
So this leaves him with, let's see. There's 2 Banshees out.
Yeah.
And 2 Vikings and 4 Thors, but way less Hellbats for Bomber. Also, he has SCVs, whereas Biong doesn't. Thing is, he's having a hard time finding where to mine from, of course. A lot of them just running around the map at the moment. Yeah, if he can kill those Vikings, he can still take it. And in fact, he might just take it anyways.
This has been one of the wildest TBTs, man, for real. I am so blown away by how good this TBT has been. How many scans does Bomber have, actually?
Okay, Bomber? Oh, you mean Biong, right?
Yes,
Biong?
I'm sorry, Biong, not Bomber, Biong.
Currently, he has zero. He has 0 scans at the moment.
All right, we see him moving up here now.
And there are 2 Banshees out, so definitely does make a difference. Now these Thors with huge damage output, taking out a lot of Hellbats.
GG, whoa.
That was crazy.
That was an awesome game.
I can't